Hi, I'm Bob Tabor with www.learnvisualstudio.net, and this is the solution, or at least part of the solution, for the challenge I called the Stupendous Styles Challenge. In this first video, there's going to be a lot of setup work. We're going to create the project, add the pages, copy over the assets from that zip file, that folder that I have on my desktop there. We'll work on navigation and styling up the buttons, creating styles. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the webcam so I can make facial expressions and not distract you with my ugly mug. Alright, and let's go ahead and create a new project, and we'll call this Go Nuts. Click OK. And just so we can get it out of the way, the very first thing I'm going to do is take all the image assets from that folder, and let me go to View and go just to Detail View. It'll be easier that way. And I'll take everything here and I'll drag and drop it into the Assets folder. Alright, very good. Alright, so now I can get rid of that, and I can give myself some more space here. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of those pages, blank pages, to my project. So let's go, we already have MainPage.xaml, so we need donut page.xaml. I wonder how many projects in the history of Visual Studio have had a donut page in them. Coffee page.xaml. Schedule page.xaml. And this was complete page.xaml. Great. Alright, so we're good to go there. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and remove this debug statement, get rid of the frame counter, and we're good to go there. Let's close that up. Great. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is set up the structure on that main page. I do want to change the view to this 13.3 desktop. I just prefer working in that landscape mode. And so we said that we're going to create two grid rows, so let's go ahead and create some row definitions here. And so grid row definition, and we'll set the height, and I'll copy it. I do a lot of that where I know I'm going to need something, so I create like the structure, and then I copy it a bunch of times and then fill in the details. It just saves keystrokes that way. Okay, so that top row will be, actually I don't want it auto, I want it 100 like we specified in the instructions. So in that top row, we're going to have a grid. And in the bottom row, we're going to have a grid as well. Now I know in the bottom row, that grid's going to have two columns, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of lay that out right now. So column definitions. And column definition, I want the width, remember it was going to be 66% on the left, 33% on the right. So how do we do that? 2 star, 1 star, great. And on the left, we're going to use a frame, so let's go ahead and just add the frame, and we'll fill in the details to that later. Well, actually, I'll just call this my frame. I think that's all I need to really do. Equals my frame. And then on the right, we're going to put an image, and we'll set the source equal to assets background.jpg. And we're going to set that grid.column equal to 1. Now I know I'm going to have to do something else there, but I'll see where we're at after that. Okay. Next up, I'm going to create this topmost grid. It's going to have 4 columns. So let's just do this, actually. It'll give me a good start. Paste those in. All right, and then each of these will just be have an equal share of the width, so they'll all have star sizing. Great. And then I need buttons. And what I'm going to do is actually just create one button, get it right, extract the style, and then create the other buttons. So I know inside of the button I'm going to have a stack panel because I want an icon, so I'm going to have an image on the left and then the text block on the right. Okay, so far so good. The text block, let's go ahead and set its text equal to donut in this case. And the image asset, the image source will equal assets donut icon dot png. And I'll have to play around with the sizes of those things. I do know that I want the background for this thing to be black, and I want the foreground equal to white. So that should be good there. And like I give you the hint in the instructions, I want these buttons to take up the entire size of the cell that they're sitting in. First of all, let me go ahead and do grid.column equals 0. I know I don't have to do that on this one, but it will remind me to do it on the others. The next thing that I want to do is, that horizontal alignment equals stretch, and the vertical alignment equals stretch. And that will make it the entire size of the cell. If not, it'll just be like really small, just large enough for the text inside of it to actually display, or whatever the content is. Let's see what the preview looks like. All right, clearly things are not looking great just yet. So, I see what we need to do here. So this grid dot row equals 1. That should fix that issue, and we'll get back to that in a minute. Up here, it looks like this image is way too large in the preview. I think all I really need is like 20 by 20. So let's go width equals 20 and height equals 20. And I think the text block's icon, so the foreground will equal white. And I don't think we need that there actually. And then so the text block, the donut foreground. Stack panel. Yeah, we need that. I can barely see it. It didn't look quite right. The orientation needs to be horizontal. All right, that looks a little bit better. Let's run and see what we got so far. And you'll notice in these solutions that I do a lot of coding, and then afterwards I tested. But honestly, what I typically do is do a lot of testing. I just don't want it to take forever while I'm recording these videos, okay? So let's go ahead and shut that down. And now that I need to add one more thing in here. And what I need to do is to set that border brush. Remember we talked about that? I'm going to set that to gray, and then we're going to set the border thickness to, and this works just like margins do. So on the left, I want a 0. On the top, I want a 0. On the right, I want a 2. And on the bottom, I want 0 border thickness. So now let's take a look at that. And it might be hard to see against the white background, but there's a little tiny gray border there on the right. Now you can also see while I'm in here that this doesn't look quite right. I think I need to set the stretch property of that image. And so here we go. Let's go stretch equals uniform to fill. And I think that will fix the issue. So let's run it again. Okay, that's more like it. Great. Now what I want to do is extract a style from this button so we can apply it. So page.resources. And here I'm going to create a style. Target type. Oops. Sorry about that. Target type equals button, and then let's give it a key, and I try to be as descriptive as possible with the keys. So navigation button style, there's no mistaking what that is. Here we're going to create a bunch of setters, and we'll set the property and then the value, and just like I've done before, I'm going to copy and paste a bunch of these because I know I need them. Don't know exactly how many. Now here's what I like to do. Because I need to look down here and then make changes up here, I use a feature of Visual Studio. Let's get rid of that. this little icon in the upper right-hand corner allows me to see two panes with the same file. So I'm still in the MainPage.xaml, but I'm looking at these two independent panes. So I can look at the bottom down here like that, and then here at the top, I can do things like set the background. And I love that I get IntelliSense when I do this, by the way. That's nice. All right, background black. Horizontal alignment equal to stretch. Okay. And vertical alignment. And we'll set that to stretch. And let's see, we'll do the border brush. And we'll set that equal to gray. And then the border thickness. Equal to that. And I think that's all that I need to do right now. Now what I'll do is grab all this, remove it, and I'm going to set the style equal to, what was that, static resource, right? And we're calling this navigation button style. Great. Now if I did this right, I'm going to remove that, nothing will change whenever I run the app. Great. Looks right. Now I do notice I still have some things I need to do here with this, with the innards of the button on the image itself, and this might be an area where we can create another style because we're going to use this 4 times. So let me first get the margin correct rather, and let's go 0, 0, 10, 0 maybe. That should work, right? So let's try it. Okay, that's better. Very good. Now let's make a style out of that. So here we go. Style. Target type equals image. And let's create the key to icon style. I think that's good enough. Image icon style. Icon image style. Naming things is hard. It's always hard. So to set our property and the value, and I think we only need 3 things here. So we're going to set the height and width. Set that to 20. Width 20. And then we're going to do that margin thing that we did a minute ago, where we go 0, 0, 10, 0. I'm going to copy that because I'll forget that name. And we'll go style equals static resource, and then the image icon image style. I'm not going to do one for the text block with the text donut in it. There's just no reason for it. I mean, we only have one property that we're setting there. Let's make sure everything looks good before we now copy and paste those buttons 3 more times. Okay, I like what it looks like. One last thing that I need to do is I'm going to need, well, let me just hold off on that. Sorry, getting ahead of myself here. Okay, so I've got these buttons looking pretty sharp. I'm going to copy and paste. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be in column 1, column 2, and column 3. All right, and so now we'll just change out each of these. So instead of that, we'll go coffee icon, and the text will be coffee. Whoops. Then we're going to go schedule icon. The text block will be schedule, and then finally, what was this? Complete icon. Complete. All right, feel good about that. Let's see what it looks like real quick. Nice. Look at that. See how efficient it can be whenever you kind of get your act together and you create your styles and then you copy and paste things. All right, I tell you what, I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to work on the navigation part of this in the next video. So we'll catch you there.